95 bodies unearthed earlier this year in Fort Bend County will remain in limbo for now. A judge ruling this morning that Fort Bend ISD should halt construction on its new technical school site just off of Highway 90. That is where the remains of former prison inmates, some of whom were freed slaves, were found in April. The judge wants more time to decide. The district wants to move those bodies to a cemetery. A local advocacy group wants them to remain where they are. Both parties agree on doing a DNA analysis.
I do acknowledge the great step that was taken here today, and I am grateful for us having a judge who was willing to listen objectively.
I think at this point the idea is just to continue what it is we were doing, and that's having engaging conversation where people have an opportunity to learn and learn more from the archival records and be able to share information and regroup as to how we want to move forward with memorialization.
The judge hopes to come to some sort of an agreement by March.